Hey everyone, I want to do a free video lesson from you guys. It's Pat here from TrickTrades.com. These are the type of lessons, but even more so, I go into even more depth with the video lessons. But I want to, since it's earnings season, I do want to kind of fill you guys in on what to watch for when it comes to earnings plays with the big gap ups and everything else. Like, how do you play those? Well, there's quite a few different ways that we can play these big earnings gaps, and it all depends with the daily chart. Okay, now the daily chart is your guide, always your guide. So on IRBT, where I took this in total of 2 trades for a total of 8 points, um, this was to me was a very easy short, very easy money. Um, Sometimes like the market gives you those perfect setups, and you really need to attack them. Okay, so on IRBT, this gapped up what? We got about almost 5 points, and that's what turned me on to it. Now, when I looked at it, when I noticed it on my trade ideas scanners, the morning gap scan that I use to watch for these rangers, it was gapping up into some pretty heavy resistance. Okay, so let's mark out some resistance here. Now remember, it's support and resistance. That's the main thing. So we have daily chart resistance right overhead, right? And you can see here it actually tapped like perfectly. This is more congested on this line. You want to look for the most congestion. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7. So 7 areas of resistance. And where did it open up? It opened up right there, right? And then it just gave a quick pop and then died. And the reason why you catch these quick pops is a lot of weak hands, weak shorts that are unable to get out during the pre-market or after hours trading. So they get freaked right out because of the gap, and then they cover, and then that's all it does. It just instantly dies, and then they miss the big move that they were looking for. So we have daily chart resistance, and then we also have some overhead resistance at with some moving averages. Um, Now I use the 50 SMA, the 200 SMA, and the 9 EMA and the 5 EMA. The 5 EMA, that's mainly just to see if the really short-term trend is intact. I don't put too much weight into it, but mainly the 50 and the 200. Those are the two areas that are very important. So although IRBT gapped up over the 200, which is the red line, which is strong, that's pretty strong. It still has overhead resistance at the 50 SMA, and that's definitely going to get in the way. And that's what it did. It basically popped into that and just dropped. So you can watch for these big gap ups that gap up into resistance for a short. Now, we'll get into an example of a long. So Twitter this is actually a perfect example of a stock that you should be looking at to go long, even though it gapped up huge. Okay, so we have some resistance marked out. So these two areas, these are both areas that we're going to want to watch very hard at the open, because where it gapped up from here, and then it came up roughly 2 points. Now for Twitter, that's 2 points is a lot. It's a pretty slow moving stock. So that's a massive gap up. It's instantly overextended, but the thing is, there is nothing in its way now. Okay, it gapped up over the resistance. Now it tests it. When it tests it, see how it tests that support to the penny? It tested it perfectly and bounced. Okay, now that should tell you go in, go long. Don't mess around, guys. Get in. That's showing you that this is strong and it's going to ramp. And that's exactly what it did for 2 days in a row. Now, I think what's going to happen with Twitter tomorrow is going to be most likely a small green day, and that's because of prior chart action. It kind of follows its own pattern, and it usually has two big green days, small green day, red. So I'll be looking for a short possibly on Tuesday, maybe tomorrow. We'll see, but I think it's still going to be a small green day. So definitely watch where it gaps over resistance, then it tests former resistance, now becoming support, and it pops. These are really easy plays and very easy safe trades to get into. Um, I mean, at best, you're going to take probably a 10-cent loss, right? And the potential, the risk reward ratio on a stock like Twitter is absolutely huge. So you're willing to risk 10 cents, and because it's earnings, and if it starts going, it's going to go up about a point, which it did. It almost went 2 points. But that just goes to show you have a 10-to-1 risk reward ratio, and it's not your win percentage that matters, it's your risk reward ratio. And that's what we teach at TrickTrades.com, is the proper risk reward ratios. So these are the trades that I want my members, and as well as you guys, members or not, I only want people to succeed. So definitely take a look at that. Now, Microsoft, although don't get scared off from these prices, and I know you guys have heard me say that before, because of the massive range with these stocks and the potential, you only need 100 or 200 shares to make some really good money, because you're not looking at just it moving 10 cents and 15 cents like some of these other guys trade. We collect points day in, day out. Like a small trade for us is like a 50-cent per share win. Okay, and most of our wins are multiple points. It's because we're following stocks with some range. So definitely take a look at that. So what I'm looking for on Microsoft now, because it gapped up, okay, now this gapped pretty hard. Although it rejected, you're going to have a lot of people taking profits. If you've been in this stock for a while and you held through earnings for that gamble, you're going to pull profits, and that's why most likely it had a red day. Now, Microsoft, we can definitely play this a couple ways, and I just want to show you my thought process. So on Microsoft tomorrow, October 30th, I'm going to be watching for a break of lows, okay? So it's only a few cents away. I want to see how it handles these lows, because if it breaks those lows, Friday's lows, there's nothing stopping this, and it's going to pull back. It'll most likely pull back to the next natural support at 82. So we got a good about a point and a half of play. So even on a couple hundred shares, I mean, Jesus, guys, do the math. I mean, you're looking at $200, $400, $600, depending on how much it actually does pull back. So, and it's safe too. Microsoft is a relatively slow-moving stock, so it's a really good, solid risk-reward ratio. So you're looking, once this breaks at 61, you can give it 10 or 20 cents to make 1 to 2 to 4 points. Right? Well, 4 might be a little bit of a stretch, but you guys know what I'm getting at. So we can watch for the short and then also watch for the long. There's always two ways to make money in the markets, right? So watch for the opening range, the opening price at 84.29 to break. If that breaks, it's most likely going to at least test 85, if not go and make a run for highs. So again, really solid risk reward ratio. You're only risking you could probably send a 10, 15, maybe 20 cent stop, depending on how the intraday chart plays out, and you're good to go. So that's how you can play that. AMD. So AMD, this is how to get in and just capitalize on momentum, whether it be up momentum or downward momentum. Really look to ride that. So let's say you missed the first day, which I was kind of choked that I missed that 13 pop and rejection at the bell, or towards the beginning of the day on AMD, because I really wanted this, because it's broke trend. It's most likely AMD really follows trend and support and resistance extremely well. So once it broke that, this thing's like good to go for a short, like easy money. And with it breaking this level here, you see how it kind of tested, and where it the first day and then the second day it gapped up slightly. Where did it gap up to? Right into some resistance. Okay, So, and then just like it just died. It just died. So when you see stuff like that, when this chart looks that weak, you could even look to get in on the third day. And that's starting to get extended, but just follow, just ride that, piggyback that move, guys. Okay, so that's something the guy could look at. Um, so yeah, there's a million other examples here. FSLR. Now this one, I took a couple losses first thing, and then I ended up coming back and I scalped the move a couple times. I took it short here, and then I took it short here, and it doesn't look like much, but I mean you're looking at over a point, right? And I missed this move. I got a little impatient because I had to take off for the day, but it would have been nice to catch it all the way back to VWAP, which would have been definitely been the target. These higher price stocks really follow VWAP quite well. You can see it tested it out a few times. But on FSLR, when this gapped up, the reason why I was looking at it for a short is because it was gapping right into some resistance, okay, and it's tested that level a few times. So I tried it out basically right out of the gate. I let it pop a little bit, and then it just, yeah, it didn't do much. It came down for a minute and then ramped right back up. So I stopped out for a loss there, and then I tried again at the nice round hole number of 55 and took a loss there. So I traded this quite a few times, took a couple losses, and then took a couple wins, and my winners are always way bigger than my losers, always, always. So that's something that you guys need to take into consideration and really, really think about, okay? I'm always one trade away from going green on the day. Always, guys. And my members can attest to that. I mean, take losses all the time, but it's a matter of how you conduct yourself and how you handle that loss. I mean, you cannot be getting emotional. If you get emotional, you will snowball, and you'll have that one or two losses will turn into five, right? It's fine to take a trade off and and just reset. Like if it's, don't fight it. Don't fight it. These guys that take these massive losses, there's no reason for it. Just relax, just breathe, just take the trade off. It's fine, and then reshort it or relong it, whatever side of the boat you're playing on, right? Um, so yeah, that's just a few examples of how to play. Now, once earnings season is, once a company releases earnings, you can always look for the reversal. Like if let's say FSLR starts going crazy, now look for the reversal. Watch for it to get really extended into the, now 70 might be nuts, but I'm just talking, theoretically. I mean, it's possible, right? So you'd want to watch the 65 level, and then you'd want to watch the 70 level. There's also some chart resistance here at the 63, which I'll be interested in. But just give you an example. And same with AMD. So with AMD, let this go wild to the downside. Now it looks like it already bounced, to be honest. Like that's a pretty big buyer's candle, right? So most likely Monday we'll have a green day here, and probably catch some of that move and maybe swing it for a couple days, potentially swing this for a couple of days. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the free video lesson. If you like this, you should check out our the TrickTrades.com video lesson library. That, I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable, the amount of content, and the quality of content is unparalleled anywhere. You won't get better education anywhere else, man. Uh, it's impossible. I know the content that we put out, and our members are extremely grateful and thankful that we do what we do. So I'd really like to help pass that on to you guys and turn you into consistently profitable traders over time. Not saying that you're going to become consistently profitable in 2 minutes or 10 days or 2 months. Guys, this shit takes time. Relax. Enjoy the process. Okay, you have to trust the process. So I look forward to seeing you guys, meeting you guys, and interacting with you guys. You always have access to DMs. I know a lot of other services, they like to say that, but they'll fucking ignore you. At best, you'll wait 5 minutes for a response out of TrickTrades. Hope to see you guys there, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and come check us out at tricktrades.com. Later, guys.